Hi everyone, my name is Eric Hussain, and this is a short video I've made about the classic strongman feat of lifting an anvil by its horn. I first learned about this feat when watching YouTube clips from the Mighty Mitts 2010 grip competition, where one of the events was you had to pick up a 173-pound anvil by the horn and then walk as far as you could without dropping it. I couldn't believe how hard it seemed to be. A lot of competitors couldn't walk very far at all, and I figured I really wanted to try to see how I could do. So I began my quest to try and track down anvils, which is not very easy to do, at least not inexpensively. But luckily, over the past couple of years, I have been able to buy 3 within a reasonable driving distance of where I live, and at a relatively good price. So first, I just want to show you the 3 anvils I have. This first one is a Peter Wright 124-pound anvil. The second one, slightly bigger, it's a 150-pound Peter Wright anvil. However, it may be hard to see in the video, but the horn itself is actually significantly bigger than the 124-pound anvil, making it a lot harder to lift. And finally, most recently, I was lucky to find this one. This is a 172-pound Peter Wright anvil. For those who are interested, the one used at Mighty Mitts is a 173-pound Peter Wright anvil. And I confirmed with Richard Soren, and the horn dimensions are exactly the same. So this is great. If I ever get a chance to try and lift the actual anvil used at Mighty Mitts, well, this is great to train with. So let me show you the basic way to lift an anvil. You just put the anvil like that. Chalk definitely helps. You want to grip the anvil with one hand, usually stand right over the anvil. Grip tight, and lift right off the ground. It's as simple as that. I think most importantly is you want to really make sure you have a firm grip, because if you're not confident at all in the grip, it'll likely just slip out. The shape of the horn makes it a lot more complicated than, let's say, a 2-inch V-bar lift. It's similar, but you have to make sure you have a really good grip. As I mentioned, not anvils are created equal. And this one here, the 150-pound anvil, in my opinion, is as hard, if not harder, than the bigger 172-pound anvil, because the horn is so big. When I first bought it, I wasn't even close to lifting it. And I think my mistake was I was grepping it too high, thinking it's a little smaller, should be easier to grip. However, horns on an actual anvil, it's not a linear slope. There's actually a bit of a curve in it. And I realized that by gripping low, I watched a bit of video from Mighty Mitts, and I noticed that they were often gripping lower. And although your hand is more open, it's more similar to a vertical bar. And I actually find it easier to lift it from here than here. If you can't fully lift the anvil, there's a few ways to train. One thing that I think works well is a martial arts belt. This is the big anvil. If I'm not strong enough to lift it, what I do is I put the martial arts belt right underneath, like this. Right underneath like that. And this allows me to hold it with my offhand and assist just as much as necessary. So if I'm not even close to lifting it, I just lift a little harder on this. If I'm getting close, then I just have to put help just a little bit. And eventually, if you're strong enough, you won't need this at all. You can lift it straight up. Once an anvil becomes too easy, and you want more of a challenge, you have a lot of options. You can, I've seen some people put some sort of loading pin through this little hole here, put a loading pin through here and add weight there. At Mighty Mints, I know they've added chains just to add weight. I like just adding weight plates. For example, adding a 10-pound plate right here on the back. Great room, it actually stays there and it allows you to lift progressively heavier weight. Now, I realize that buying anvils can get expensive, not easy to find, and even if you do find them, they might not be the exact size and weight that you want. So luckily, a number of companies have created anvil trainers. I have 5 of them. I believe that they're the 5 that I know of, at least. There may be others out there, but I think these are the more common ones. So let's compare these. First up, this is the original little bighorn created by Iron Mine. I think this was released, I don't know, maybe up to 15 years ago. The slope is very slight. You can barely not even say it. I think there's a difference of a ½ inch in diameter from the top to the bottom, making it very similar to a 2-inch vertical bar lift. In fact, I think it's more closely resembles a 2-inch vertical bar lift than actually simulating lifting an anvil. And I think they heard a lot of people mention this to Iron Mine, which is why they came out with version 2. Same thing, just it uses a loading pin. Now this one, the slope is more in line with most anvils. I forget the exact dimension. I think it goes from 1½ inch down to 3 inches. So this is significantly harder. The next one is the anvil cone offered by Gripper Superstore. I bought this a couple of years ago and I'm not sure, I haven't seen it on the website recently, so it may be out of production, but this one is the hardest. It has this, I think it has the steepest slope, and it goes all the way down to a point. It's fairly smooth, although it does get seasoned, but that's probably the toughest one in my opinion. This one's solid, as are the Iron Mine ones. This is my most recent acquisition, is the Sornex anvil trainer. This is a 16-pound solid cone, and the texture is awesome. I do think that one feels the most like lifting an actual anvil. It's solid construction. It's actually comes with its own loading pin, so it's not loose. Well, it's not really loose. It feels solid. And also this one I've purchased very recently. This is the horn top that's made by World of Grip. David Horn's one of the grip tops. This one is not. This one's hollow, and it comes with its own loading pin. Same loading pin used for all the other grip tops. So there are similarities. However, if I had to say, in my opinion, the easiest one is definitely the original generation Little Bighorn published by Iron Mine. Second easiest would probably be close to a tie between the new Little Bighorn and the Sornex anvil trainer. After that, the next easiest, I guess, is the horn top, and last would be the the Gripper Superstore anvil cone. Just to give you an idea of numbers, I think my max on the Superstore cone is a little over 160 pounds. And with the original Little Bighorn, closer to 225 pounds. So that's sort of the range. Actual anvils, it really depends on the horn. Like I said, my 150 pound anvil is harder, just a bit harder than my 172 pound anvil, just because of the horn dimensions. With the 172 pound, I've been able to lift it with an additional 30 pounds in plates. Like I said, but I would not be able to do that, I don't think, with the 150 pound anvil. So that's pretty much it. That's the difference between the trainers. When I actually train the lift, sometimes I do 1 rep maximum, sometimes I use a lighter anvil and just do repetitions, sets of 15 quickly. You can also try walking with them. I've only attempted walking with the little anvil because I'm so afraid of dropping it and severing a toe. So I wouldn't really recommend training walking with them, especially at your side. I don't know, I just find it very, very scary. Although I think I might be able to take a few steps with some of the heavier anvils. I'm just a little worried about it. So the anvils don't often show up in grip contests, although you do see them once in a while. At the most recent grip decathlon that Adam Glass put on, Little Bighorn was an event. And you often see them in medleys. So if you're curious about lifting an anvil, I encourage you to try to track one down, or if not, next best thing, get one of these anvil trainers and have some fun. Thanks.